Maverick 100.9, Aggie Land's country alternative. It's Corliss, and I've been running into this guy left and right. Jeff Canada, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am wonderful. It is so funny how you and I met on Zoom
Yep.
and, just kind of word of mouth, got a hold of each other. I've always loved your music. But this year, every time we turn around, we're running into each other.
Yeah. I think it's just because I'm actually able to get out and do more networking now than I ever was before.
That's great to hear. And you've really stayed consistent with putting out new music. So, of course,
Yeah.
first up on the docket today is a brand new single called Back to Texas, which my first question is, when the heck did you ever leave?
I was in Colorado for a climbing trip. I go climb 14ers every year, and so I was up there for a climbing trip, and me and my bass player were sitting in a hotel, and I literally wrote that song in like 5 minutes. It was crazy. I think I've only changed one line since I wrote it originally.
Wow.
And so yeah, there was one part that says it used to say outrun the cops in Dallas.
Yeah.
Now it says outrun the cops to Red River because I refuse to put Dallas in a song.
Look,
Petty.
he's got standards, okay?
I'm a petty Houstonian, man. It's one of those things. They're the enemy.
So you were just in your feels, feeling a little homesick, huh?
Yeah, it was just one of those things where I was set in a hotel and I think it was some bad weather or something. I said something. I was like, I can't wait to get back to Texas. And I was like, and I pulled out the guitar, and him and I pulled out the guitars and sat there and wrote it. And I wrote it. He sat there, and yeah, it was great. I think I did give him writing credit on the song, though. He might have put in one or two words.
There we go.
I do a joke all the time about when I play it live. If I forget the lyrics, it's because I wrote it in Colorado, and so everybody asks about that one.
Well, I know the feeling. I was in Kansas all weekend and drove through storms to get there and storms back. And all I wanted to do was see my husband and my dog and my cats. Like, I just Texas. Come on.
Yeah, it's funny. I've actually gotten quite a few listeners in Kansas, but just because I mentioned Kansas in that one song, and it's pretty funny. Like Kansas is like my fourth or fifth most listened to state, like on my Spotify. It's pretty funny.
I think on Maverick's like streaming numbers, we have a ton from Kansas, but I think it's just my mom. Thanks, Mom. You're the best.
Kansas is it's a weird state. It's
makes a lot of sense here, doesn't it? You're like, God, where did this weirdo Corliss come from? She just came swooping into my life like a tornado, and then you find out I'm from Kansas, and everything goes, oh.
Hey, my life's gotten better since you've come into it, so I welcome you.
You're 100%. Full of it, but I'll take the compliment. Y'all, let's get you some new music from Jeff Canada. Right now, we are debuting the brand new single Back to Texas on Maverick 100.9. Due to copyright, Brian Broadcasting is not licensed to air this single for you in podcast form, but you can now find it anywhere that you stream and download music. And today's interview continues now. That was Back to Texas, Jeff Canada on Maverick 100.9. I was laughing earlier. I was like, what do you mean back to Texas? He never even left. And you were talking about that was made in Colorado. Well, our little friendship here bloomed in Colorado. We had met on Zoom before, and then we're at Steamboat, and I'm having a full-on conversation with you and had no idea who I was talking to.
That's funny. Yeah, I think Sarah, I was hanging out with Sarah Hobbs and yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
It's like, you finally removed, because I turned to you and I was like, I'm Corliss, by the way. And you go, I know. What?
Yeah.
How? Who are you? And you lower your sunglasses and you're like, Jeff Canada. And I was like, son of a gun.
Hey, that's how you know you're famous, when even the program directors don't even know who you are.
Right? Look at you go.
I'm making waves.
Well, what else is on the train for Jeff Canada this year? Any more music heading out to us, or are you just focusing on touring all summer?
No, I have 3 songs done that I'm going to be releasing at some point. I also have a full length live album that we recorded last year, and we're releasing that in July. We're
Yeah.
at Do-Si Do here in the Woodlands or Spring or wherever it is, and so we're going to do that and throw the party. It's coming out July. The party's July 16th, so whatever that Friday is before that. So yeah, full length live album, 10 songs. It's acoustic, but it's full band acoustic, and it's coming out pretty good. I just got some mixes today, and I'm super excited about getting that one out because, like, well, my live show is everything to me.
Yeah.
And there's so much personality and so many jokes and just goofiness that doesn't come across when you just hear my song. And so I'm super excited to get this out.
I wish everybody would make live albums, honestly.
It's very frustrating and very difficult and very hard. And it's difficult because it's getting harder and harder to get people to shut up at shows.
Yeah.
And so there's actually a part on the live record that we're keeping in the where I actually go off on the crowd, because there's like one group of ladies that just will not shut up. Right. And their phone, I was introducing the song I wrote about my mom, and their phone rang, and so that kind of got me. And then the next song, I was playing the intro, and I could hear them talking over me playing, and I finally just stopped and I told them. And then I was going to cut it, but then Chad Prather was in the audience, and he was like, "No way, you're not cutting that. You're leaving that in the record." So
that is very up his alley. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, there are certain friends that I hate going to shows with because they want to talk the whole time. And I'm like, if we wanted to talk, we could have just hung out at my house. I want to hear this music.
Yeah. I mean, if we're at a bar, if we're playing somewhere like Sawyer Park or one of these places, I don't really care. But I mean, everyone knew we were recording a live album that night. And right. Peyton Howie opened up for us, and she said it 4 or 5 times in her set. The GM said it 3 or 4 times. Our entire intro was to get them and let them know to be quiet.
Not to mention, isn't that more of a listening room type atmosphere anyways?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. If y'all are going to Do-Si Do or you go to Main Street Crossing in Tomball, please, if you want to go to shows to be social, it would just be best to leave those 2 venues out of it.
My first album release I did there in 2020, we sold it out, all 450 tickets. And there was no way you're going to get that many people to be quiet, And so if it's sold out, that's one thing. But there was about 250 people there that night. And, it was just one group of people. And I handled it, and we got it on tape.
So we'll be looking for that in July. Make sure you keep following Jeff Canada. Get his brand new single, Back to Texas, and follow for more new music, because we're going to be getting an abundance of it. And Jeff, I am not going to let it go this long before we get to catch up again here on Maverick.
Absolutely. And I don't know if I can say this on the air or not, but just go to jeffcanadasucks.com, has everything you need.